Hey everyone, this is homework 1.5. I apologize, this video is going to be a little bit later than usual. On Wednesdays I usually have a meeting, and so sometimes Wednesdays are going to be a little bit late. I apologize. I'll try to get them up Tuesday, which would be even more ideal. So today we looked at recognizing that the points on the line of the graph of an equation are solutions to that equation. So it says select all the points that are on the graph of the equation 4y minus 6x equals 12. So if they are points on the graph, that means they are solutions. If they are solutions, that means when you plug them in, they make the sentence true. So if we start with A, we do 4 times negative 4 minus 6. Oops, actually, nope, see, I did that wrong because the 4 is the x. So let's change that. I'm going to do the x is the y right here is going to be negative 3, and then we're substituting negative 4 for x equals 12. We're going to end up with negative 12. A negative 6 times a negative 4 is a positive 24, and so that does in fact equal positive 12. That is correct. Then you can go ahead and try plugging in the next one. I'm going to do a couple more examples and then leave you to it, okay? So 4 times y, which is 1.5, minus 6 times negative 1 equals 12. All right, so we have 4 times 1.5. You know, 4 times 1 is 4, and then half of 4 is 2. So 4 times 1.5 is 6, minus, well, we have a negative 6 times a negative 1, so it's going to be positive 6. And that is also going to be 12, so that is also true. Let's try letter C. Letter C says, maybe I can make this easier on myself and only erase some parts of it. If we plug in negative 2 for y and 0 for x, we get negative 8. Okay, and then we get negative 8 minus 0, so C does not work. All right, because that is not going to give us a answer of 12. If we try D, we're going to plug in 4 times y, which is 3, minus 6 times 0 equals 12. I automatically see this is 12 minus 0. D does, in fact, work. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to try E and F on your own and see if they work. You got to test them out to make sure whether they work or not. All right, number 2 says a theater is selling tickets to a play. Adult tickets cost $8 and children's tickets cost $5. And you can see that they've listed adult tickets as X and children's tickets as Y. They collect $275 after selling X adult tickets and Y children's tickets. What does the point 30, 7 mean in this situation? This means that they sold 30 adult tickets and 7 children's tickets. To collect $275. It is on the line, which means that it meets this constraint of 275. Number 3, in a video game, players form teams and work together to earn as many points as possible for their team. Each team can have between 2 and 4 players. Each player can score up to 20 points in each round of the game. Han and 3 of his friends, so that's 4 people, decide to play a round. Write an expression, an equation, or an inequality for each of the quantities described here. All right, so the allowable number of players on the team. So let's say P stands for player, and P can be between 2 and 4 players. So that means P has to be greater than or equal to 2, and P has to be less than or equal to 4. You can also write this as P is less than or equal to 4 and greater than or equal to 2 as this sentence structure. All right, that's like the nicer, more official way to write it, but you can also write it this way as long as both constraints are true. The number of points Han's team earns in one round if every player earns a perfect score. So he has 4 people. They can earn up to 20 points, so 20 is the perfect score. So 4 times 20 equals 80. The number of points Han's team earns in one round if no players earn a perfect score. So if nobody earns a perfect score, the most that they can earn is 19, right? because the max score is 20. If nobody gets a perfect score, the most each person could have gotten is 19. And that would be 36, carry the 3, is 76 points, right? That makes sense because 80 would be a perfect score. But we don't know exactly how good of a score they got, which means their score is going to be less than or equal to 76, right? Because nobody got a perfect score, so everybody got at least 19 points, or could have gotten as many as 19 points rather, but they might have gotten less than that. Letter D says the number of players in a game with 6 teams of 2 different sizes. So 2 teams have 4 players each, and the rest have 3 players each. So 6 teams, 2 teams have 4 players, so 2 times 4 is 8, plus the other teams, so the remaining teams, if there were 6 total, that means there's 4 more teams left, and they have 3 players each. So 8 plus 12 is 20. And then, sorry about that. Okay, the possible number of players in a game with 8 teams. Okay, so the possible number of players in a game with 8 teams. So if we have 8 teams and they each have the maximum number of players, which is 4, they could have as many as 32, right? Could be as many as that. But it could also be less than that. And if 8 teams only had 2 people in it, that would be 16. So the possible number of players are less than or equal to 32 and greater than or equal to 16. All right. Number 4, a student on the cross-country team runs 30 minutes a day as part of her training. Write an equation to describe the relationship between the distance she runs in miles and her running speed in miles per hour when she runs. All right, so we'll notice we're doing miles per hour, but it told us 30 minutes. That's really important because 30 minutes in hours is a half an hour or 0.5 hours. So at a constant speed of 4 miles per hour means that 4 miles per hour for the entire 30 minutes, so the speed times her time, is going to give us 4 times 1/2 equals 2 miles. And that makes sense because if she can run 4 miles an hour and she only runs half an hour, then she's able to run 2 miles in half of that time. In B says, at a constant speed of 5 miles per hour for the first 20 minutes and then 4 miles per hour the last 10 minutes. So if we're looking at 5 miles per hour for the first 20 minutes, we're looking at 5 times the first 20 minutes. So 20 minutes out of 60 minutes is 1/3. So 5 times 1/3 plus, then she's doing 4 miles per hour the last 10 minutes. 10 out of 60 is 1/6. So 4 times 1/6, and actually remember I told you to use parentheses for multiplication, so I should do that this way. All right, equals her distance. And if you wanted, you can calculate that out and get, 5/3 times 2/3, or 5/3 plus 2/3. And you can go ahead and calculate that if you like, but you can also leave it in fraction form like this as long as you're showing me what it is. C, at a constant speed of 6 miles per hour, the first 15 minutes, so 6 miles, the first 15 minutes, so that's 15 out of 60. You should know that that's a quarter of an hour, plus 5.5 miles per hour for the remaining 15 minutes, so that's another quarter of an hour, equals our distance. All right, letter D, at a constant speed of 8 miles per hour, the first 6 minutes, so 6 out of 60 is 1/10 of an hour, plus 6.5 miles per hour for the remaining 24 minutes. Ooh, so 24 out of 60, we can divide both of these by 12 and get 2/5. Okay, equals her distance. All right, the last one is going to have you replace things with some variables. So 5.4 miles per hour for m minutes, so that would be m out of 60 gives us our hours, plus b miles per hour for n out of 60 minutes. All right, now this problem is mostly making sure that you're converting from minutes to hours, which is super important. All right, our next question. In the 21st century, people measure length in feet and meters. All right, let me erase this a little bit so that we can see better. Feet and meters. At various points in history, people measured